Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We will dig into it. History has been made in the heart of the Catholic Church. Cardinal Robert Provost, the 69-year-old, has been elected the new leader of the Roman Catholic Church, becoming the first American pontiff in history. He succeeds Pope Francis following the conclusion of the papal conclave at the Vatican. The announcement sparked jubilation in St. Peter's Square, where thousands of faithful from around the world had gathered in anticipation. The long-awaited signal, white smoke rising from the Sistine Chapel chimney, confirmed the College of Cardinals had reached a decision. Now, Pope Leo XIV is widely regarded as a moderate reformer known for his pastoral approach and administrative expertise. Prior to his election, he served as the prefect of the dicastery for bishops, a key role in shaping episcopal leadership globally. A native of Chicago, Illinois, Prevost is respected for his commitment to transparency, accountability, and inclusivity within the Church.
Per il gregge di Dio. Anch'io vorrei che questo saluto di pace entrasse nel vostro cuore, raggiungesse le vostre famiglie, a tutte le persone, ovunque siano, a tutti I popoli, a tutta la terra. La pace sia con voi. Proviene da Dio, Dio che ci ama tutti incondizionalmente. Ancora conserviamo nei nostri orecchi quella voce debole ma sempre coraggiosa di Papa Francesco che benediva Roma.
President Yoweri Museveni, Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, has called for disciplined democracy and respect for political engagement ahead of the 2026 elections. Chairing the Defense Forces Council at State House Entebbe, President Museveni condemned intimidation in politics and emphasized the need for civility rooted in Ugandan values.
Your Excellency, we have done and continue to do a lot of work since the last High Command met. For instance, Operation Shujaa in Eastern DRC, in North Kivu province has since expanded fold in terms of the area of operation. The joint forces have now established a permanent presence in the eastern DRC towns of Lubero, Butembo, and Beni. This in addition to the mobile forces that continue to do an excellent job of permanently degrading and crippling the ADF as a fighting force, have made the people of that region very happy with the work being done by the UPDF.
I welcome you here to Entebbe, and I thank God for keeping Uganda safe and for keeping you safe also, you, our commanders and our soldiers. The issue of strategic security. If we implement, number one, patriotism, and it helps us to build prosperity, in Uganda. Uganda has already become a lower middle income country. It will become an upper middle income country. It will become a first world country. We are moving. As you will see in the document, I quote some figures. But even if a country is highly developed, is it necessarily secure against all threats? Prosperity will come from economic integration of Africa. But even if it creates prosperity, it may not create strategic security. That's why, therefore, with the freedom fighters led by Nyerere and Nkrumah and others, we started talking of Pan-Africanism, whereby we would not only link economically, but also politically to form political federations where possible. And in the case of East Africa, we're always talking about the East African Federation. So that is mission, historical mission number. The principles are 4, but the historical missions are 3. And number 1 is to create prosperity through economic integration. Number 2, create strategic security through political integration by forming federations where possible. And in East Africa, it is possible because we are what Swahili, we are Bantus, we are Nilotics, we are Cushitics, who are all moreover linked. And we are lucky to have the language of Swahili.
Now, President Museveni hosted His Highness Sheikh Abdallah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs, during one-day official visit to Uganda. The State House in Entebbe, President Museveni welcomed Sheikh Abdallah and expressed his appreciation for the UAE's long-standing friendship with the country. He encouraged UAE to invest in Uganda, highlighting the potential of mutual benefits of enhanced cooperation. Sheikh Abdallah conveyed greetings from the UAE leadership and reaffirmed his country's commitment to strengthening trade, cooperation and development.
Believe, Your Excellency, we would like to do more in our bilateral relationship, but also we would like to work with you through the rest, and through you to the rest of the continent.
Yes.
As you rightly mentioned, and you would always provide us with more experience than we would ever know, obviously. But also, Your Excellency, I think there is the most important element in any relationship, which is trust. And we are grateful for you, Your Excellency, to provide the UAE the trust that has brought the relationship where it is. And you mentioned areas where we could cooperate and look at in terms of medicine and in areas regarding military cooperation. And I assure you, Your Excellency, we would be very keen in looking at both these sectors and beyond.
Manufacturing, agro, minerals, infrastructure, services, then one of the services, tourism, defense. If some of your companies can invest with us in defense equipment, because we have a defense industry to build our own weapons. So the area is very big. The complementarity between UAE and us is that you have the UAE market You have the Gulf market. You even have links with Central Asia.
Prime Minister Rhoda Ngonzi has commended health development partners for their continued support to government programs and called for stronger collaboration as Uganda works towards achieving universal health coverage. Ngonzi made the remarks while officiating at the National Health Financing Dialogue, which brought together civil society organizations and development partners in the health sector.
Uganda continues to face major challenges in its healthcare system, with limited health financing cited as a key obstacle to achieving universal health coverage. To address this, the Ministry of Health, in partnership with stakeholders, held the country's first ever National Health Financing Policy Dialogue under the theme Sustainable Health Financing Strategies for Universal Health Coverage and Resilient Health Systems in Uganda.
We improve private sector participation and partnership by integrating private partnership for health in both social sectors, including health regulations. And through incentives such as medical credit schemes, credit guarantees, among others, so that we can be able to attract and stimulate those who want to invest in the private sector.
What we are also seeing as a new trend is that the number of non-communicable diseases, that's your hypertension, diabetes, cancer, that is also going up. So in terms of what the government needs to prioritize, we need to prioritize funding for health. Funding for health has been lagging behind compared to where it needs to be. We have declarations like the Abuja Declaration where the government is supposed to fund 15% of health needs as part of the GDP, but that has not really taken place.
Prime Minister Rhoda Ngonzi, who represented President Yoweri Museveni at the event, underscored the importance of resource mobilization to improve service delivery.
I'm signing on behalf of Uganda.
Yes.
Uganda's population, like most African countries, is growing rapidly, and therefore the disease burden continues to rise. This is why it is important that we leverage innovative financing mechanisms in order to avert imminent crises.
Health development partners also emphasized the need for enhanced cooperation and sustainable financing mechanisms to strengthen Uganda's health system.
The government needs to prioritize health, and this will require making some hard choices in the budget discussions, scale up what works, stop what doesn't work, and invest in high-impact, cost-effective models.
Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Health Committee urged government to increase the national health budget to match the growing demands in the sector.
It reflects Parliament's commitment to strengthen domestic health financing, reduce reliance on external aid, improve transparency, accountability, and value for money across this sector.
So for us, we are saying the policymakers must give us policies and we must have a conversation. How are we going to start meeting the demands? Are we going to get private money? Are we going to invite commercial banks and commercial providers to resource the health that we need? Are we going to ask for health insurance? You know, even groups are getting together so that they raise resources so that we get more coverage and more financing for health.
It is hoped that adopting sustainable financing strategies will reduce the burden of out-of-pocket health expenses, which currently account for 40% of healthcare spending in Uganda. Adia Nakote, UBC.
The development partners.
And the State Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao, has launched the Museveni Solar Kit, a new initiative designed to support rural communities with affordable solar-powered lighting. The Museveni Solar Project is project, the M7 solar project is a research-based innovation aimed at addressing electricity access in underserved areas. The initiative seeks to improve living standards while promoting economic transformation.
Honorable Joyce.
The State Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, Joyce Nabuza-Sebukwa, in partnership with private entities, has launched the M7 Solar Kits, a new initiative designed to support rural communities with affordable solar-powered lighting.
For far too long, many of our people, especially women, children, and elders in remote villages, have lived in darkness. Not by choice, but because they cannot afford the electricity that others take for granted.
The project is expected to work alongside the government to extend power access and facilitate digital inclusion across Uganda.
We discovered that many of the communities, these school-going children come from locked, even best access to electricity. We are proud to unveil Solar M7, a powerful mobile and affordable solar home kit that can be used by anyone, anywhere.
As part of its social impact plan, the minister pledged to donate 1,000 M7 solar kits to rural women as an effort aimed at boosting household incomes and livelihoods.
We are starting with 1,000 solar kits, which I will personally hand over to women leaders in the remote villages for free. These women leaders, teachers, midwives, elders, and birth attendants are the light of their communities, and they deserve to live and serve with the light in their homes.
Despite progress, electricity coverage in Uganda remains low, particularly in remote areas. M7 Solar Project complements national development goals by working to ensure that no community is left behind in the quest for access to energy.
And Ugandan biochemist Dr. Mathias Magola has been awarded the 2025 African Excellence and Personality Award, a prestigious continental honor recognizing his astounding contributions to science, medicine, and economic transformation. Dr. Magola, the founder and managing director of Day Biopharma Limited in Matuga, Wakiso District, was celebrated at a high-level ceremony in Accra, Ghana.
Founder and Managing Director of Day Biopharma Limited, based in Matuga, Wakiso District, Dr. Mathias Magola, was recognized for championing African-led innovations in mRNA therapies, cancer treatment, and advanced biologics, all aimed at boosting the continent's capacity for self-sustaining healthcare solutions. He is currently spearheading the construction of Africa's first $1.1 billion pharmaceutical manufacturing facility, which will produce mRNA vaccines and therapeutic proteins.
This facility, under the good leadership of our president, is tapping into that technology to make these products so that we can treat our people.
With over 100 patents registered with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Dr. Magola's innovations target a wide range of diseases, including cancer, HIV, Alzheimer's, malaria, tuberculosis, and sickle cell disease.
I can guarantee Ugandans that for the first time God has heard our prayer. We now have the technology to make most of the things that we can gain sale to the rest of the world. And that's how the country is going to develop. So we are going to make for you vaccines that you have been importing 100%. We are going to make for you drugs that you've just been dreaming about, like biological drugs. We are going to make for you drugs that have never been made in Africa.
President Yoweri Museveni pledged full government support for Dr. Magola's work, including fast-tracking the approval and licensing of locally developed vaccines. The latest recognition adds to Dr. Magola's growing list of international accolades, including the 2025 Ratna Pharma Award in India and the 2024 International Molecular Biologist Award.
And we are talking about more than 6 billion people around the world cannot afford those drugs. But I did this research. and published it in a peer-reviewed journal in the US and Europe. And it was selected the best research in the world, and we won that award. Why? Because I'm telling people, you convert, this is the award I'm talking about. I won this in the US. The other way, just last week we won this from India. These are scientists. What's it now? Thirdly, Sigma X is a US science society, prestigious science society in the US. I was nominated and confirmed a full member of that society. That brings world top scientists together. So with all this, we are not only touching lives in Africa, we are touching lives at a global level.
As Uganda's biotechnology sector continues to gain international attention, Dr. Mathias Magola stands out as a leading force in Africa's scientific and medical innovations landscape. Mary Namkose, Deogratius Habimana, UBC News.
The situation in Kasensero Town Council, Kakuto constituency, Chotara district is dire and heartbreaking. For over a month, residents have endured severe flooding triggered by relentless rains, further worsened by an incomplete road construction project that has blocked natural water channels.
The saying "water is life" has taken a tragic twist for residents of Cell 4 and Cell 5 in Kasensero, where homes are submerged and families displaced. Panic and fear loom large, with some residents seeking refuge in churches for safety.
Tuli mazzi merere tetulina we tutuula tetulina we twebaka engoye ziizo omwana yuno nsula mukutte mu ngalo kwegamba n'okulya tulira ku kitanda tetulina we tutuula engoye ziizo ebintu bibyo mpanga bipange obuliri buubwo bwonna bujjudde mazzi sina we nteeka ngoye ngayisibwemu amazzi embere ye ngali mu mazzi ngali mununa abaana embere ngayina ye ya mazzi ngali bubi afuluma nanonye ya kyakulya ngawale enguba ngayitonya namunu mutonya ngatula ngafera bwendi sisiba kulya sifumba yambe obe tufunira wetuteeka kubanga abamu tetukyakola tetulina mirimu gye tukola abaana tetulina kye tubawa kulya mu mbeera efaanana bweti kati tubadde tusaba gavumenti etukwatireko ana amazzi tegaaliwo naye okuva lwe balima ekkubo lino amazzi ekkubo baalizinga mu box ate ne batuzingiramu tebawaawo mikutu gundi kuteekamu bino bipampu ebitambuza amazzi kati enkuba we baleetonya gatuula wamu kuba tegalina gye galaga insibaasiba emiguwa n'empanikako waggulu bwe manjagala kwoza njoleza mazzi kasita nfuna wenteeka ebbaafu neetuulawo ate era bw'ebiteekako bubi bitambula butambuzi.
We are facing a challenge of a calamity of floods which resulted as too much rain which has been coming. We thank God for the rain, but as the people of Kasensero, we are still facing the challenges because our town council has not yet improved on the roads. They tried to construct one road, but as a result, they forgot to put in the waterways. So when it rains, the water flows in the houses, which has resulted to loss of properties, loss of business, and very soon we are going to face the challenges of diseases like cholera, bilharzia.
Rose Namaganda, an elderly caregiver to her grandson, shared her struggles of surviving without any external assistance.
Tubeera mu mbeera embi nga tetulina nakakulya twali twetetenkanya nga tuluka ku mikeeka nga tutunda naye kaakati tetukyalina we tukolera tetukyalina we tulukira emikeeka kwegamba tuliyaawo tusula njala tetulina kyakulya. Twoleza eri ku ttale twetika ne tutwala ne twoleza eri ku ttale ne tukomyawo. Era ebaddewo wano era aliwo abalwadde abagenzi abadde babeeramu eyo ennyumba nga bakwatibwa obulwadde bw'okuddukana n'okusesema. Kati bo Mukama n'abayamba baafunawo obusente mangu ne batambula ne bagenda.
Many locals blamed poor leadership for their suffering. Some even apologized to President Museveni for not supporting the ruling NRM party in the last elections, believing that a different political choice might have changed their situation.
Omwami Lubega Ismail Kaka yali mu kututaasataasako ng'ataasa ku bantu b'e Kasensero, amazzi gakutte wansi ne waggulu. Abantu tebakyebaka, abantu bavudde mayumba, meeya ye gwe baalonda. Nze nnina loosi nti emyaka 5 giweddeko sirina MP mu Kakuuto, sirina meeya mu Kasensero Town Council. Ssebo Oweekitiibwa President Museveni twetonze, Oweekitiibwa Minister Ajaluna Kyerere Kasolo twetonze, twasobya.
Despite the hardship, Kasensero Town Council Chairman Haji Jamada Suna and Selfo Chairman Chigundu Frank, both elected on the NRM ticket, praised residents for remaining loyal during this crisis.
Nziranga bweri embeera gye tuyitamu eno yonna yonna abantu tebakyebaka, basula batudde, bakola batya, naye basazeewo kulonda NRM.
Mu kyenkozeewo kye kino kyensobola kubanga sirina buyinza butema luguudo, sirina buyinza bukola ki. Omulamwa gwange omukulu kuba wano tulina meeya atwala Kasensero Town Council, tulina MP, be bandibadde abasaale nnyo ku nsonga eno.
A ray of hope arrived when Kakoto constituency MP aspirant Kaka Ismail Lubega Othman visited the affected areas, distributing food and basic supplies.
So I call upon our government to take this matter as a serious matter, and I want to thank the RDC of Chotera district, the one who can support our people of Kasensero. They are no longer working because we have no electricity. As you know, we are fishermen, we are selling fish, so we have to store them. The shops are no longer working because there is no electricity. Our children are facing a very big challenge of not playing because they are keeping them in houses. The houses whereby is full of water, they cannot play, they no longer have that right of playing as children. So I call upon everyone, the Red Cross, the Prime Minister's office, the President offices, and everybody who is concerned about the people of Kasensero and the people of Uganda in general.
Items distributed included bread, sugar, flour and other essentials, a small but critical relief for families who have lost nearly everything. Cayenne Faith, Jamil Sekaja, for ABC.
Immigration control at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Colonel Geoffrey Kambere, has assured communities along the Uganda-Rwanda border that their concerns will be addressed. He spoke after a joint meeting with Ugandan and Rwandan immigration officers. Among the issues raised are expired Ugandan IDs and a 10,000 shilling fee charged at Chanika border.
The Commissioner Immigration Control at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Colonel Geoffrey Kambere, has said that Bunagana border crossing remains closed due to conflict in the DRC. This was during a joint meeting with Ugandan and Rwandan immigration officers.
Now we have only one border, Chanika, and a few others, Bunagana and others which are gazetted, and given the distance, and we told them no, we embarked on assessing more points with our colleagues from Rwanda so that we can gazette some to shorten the distances.
Kambere condemned corruption at border points and encouraged the public to report errant officers. Plans are underway to gazette more crossing points to reduce illegal movement.
Otherwise, this 20 extortion by anybody at the borders. And next time we want to get those particular officers, because we want to get that evidence so that it's not just an allegation, so that we take action as their leaders. They represent us, so we don't really encourage that extortion, and we encourage the public to name and shame such officers, so that also with evidence, so that we can take them to courts of law.
Residents like Philmon Muhawe questioned why ID expiration and border charges persist within the East African Community framework.
That international ID that can expire
and you are getting that problem. You cannot even cross through Rwanda. So now you find that someone is a villager, is coming from the village, is going to buy like a kilo of rice from Rwanda, and for him he first paid the money for the what? For the going to Rwanda, because of that national identity is expired. How come?
At the Kanaba checkpoint, travelers without IDs reportedly pay 20,000 shillings.
Emphasized that those who are going to dig and also the marketplaces, we are going to give them a solution like we have done to other borders as they wait for this exercise of mass enrollment.
Despite local council resolutions to remove it, security insists it stays. Some locals benefit by trading produce and assisting in crop control.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi akabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN.
MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Alright, listen up. Quality is on a mission. It makes our gums healthy and our teeth strong. See? We're moving forward and making changes.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth. And we'll leave no smile behind.
Amazina ganje inyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri nyo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 ash ngafuna message eriko mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri yabafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back. President Yoweri Museveni has commended Youth Platform Africa for leveraging agriculture, one of the 4 key pillars of wealth creation to help lift Ugandans out of poverty. In a speech delivered on his behalf by the State Minister for Youth and Children, Balambar Gahara, President Museveni applauded the organization during the Youth Platform Africa General Meeting held at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds.
President Museveni urged the youth to fully utilize government youth livelihood programs to move away from subsistence farming, which still accounts for 37% of Uganda livelihoods.
So the president has thanked them for listening to his message of poverty alleviation through the 4 sectors he talks about: agriculture, ICT, industrialization, and services. For them, they took on agriculture. He wants the 37% of Ugandans who don't have money to stop working for Chida Chonka subsistence to earn a living and to earn money using the government programs.
Colonel Edith Nakalema, the patron of Youth Platform Africa and head of State House Investors Protection Unit, outlined the achievements the organization has made over its 17 years of operation.
You have seen for yourselves that these are the real investors who have invested in great production. They are producing in thousands of tons of maize. Their goats are not only impressive in terms of being seen their size and what, but the multiplication, the goat fertility of YPA goats is amazing. Most of their goats, they produce 4, 5. Once you find one goat with three kids, and they all look as big as a human being.
Despite its milestones, the platform continues to face significant challenges, including poor infrastructure and high production costs.
The challenges of the delay, the bureaucracy in the ministries and other authorities, and we also talked about the expense we spend, the expense that we incur on drugs to maintain our goats and our crops. So we have hope that since the right people have grasped the matter, they will take it on, and we shall have a very successful journey ahead in 2025-2026 financial year.
Youth Platform Africa offers a variety of opportunities for young people through agricultural initiatives such as goat rearing, beekeeping and maize farming, among others. Winnie Ainembabazi Katwire and Helen Gizamba for UBC.
And President Yoweri Museveni is scheduled to commission a new coffee district, a facility expected to significantly boost coffee production and quality in Greater Ankole and across Uganda. The National Vice Chairman of the Patriotic League of Uganda, Michael Nwajira Toyota, says that the President will officially open the Inspire Africa Coffee Factory on the 24th of May.
Once again, to inform the country about coffee.
Inspire Africa Coffee Factory, located in Rashamaire in Tungamu District, is set for commissioning on 24th May 2025 by President Museveni.
We are opening a factory, the very first big factory in Uganda for coffee. I'm calling upon all Ugandans to come and launch the factory that is going to benefit the nation.
The National Vice Chairperson of the Patriotic League of Uganda, Michael Nwajira alias Toyota, has expressed optimism that the facility presents new hope for Uganda's coffee sector.
I call upon all Ugandans to come and witness, and eventually to see what they are going to benefit. Coffee is something that can benefit everybody. We've been here suffering, selling land to pay school fees, but once you have 1 acre of coffee, you can be able to solve all problems. You can pay school fees for your children and even grow your homesteads.
While addressing media in Kampala, he describes the project as God dropped at our doors, pointing to its already established international markets.
You can get medicine also to protect, because this factory will not just collect coffee only, but will teach people how to grow coffee and how to protect it.
The factory will engage in processing, buying, selling and value addition of coffee to benefit farmers and exporters alike.
Actually, why I'm supporting it, because it's going to add value. It's a value addition, because we are not going to do like others. People will even go and buy already for drinking.
Although located in Ntungamu district, the factory is open to farmers and dealers from across the country.
Thank the people that have invested money in this coffee factory, because it's going to benefit everybody. I don't think we have even the capacity to feed that factory. So people should grow coffee. I'm calling upon Ugandans to start growing coffee.
Kenya's President Dr. William Ruto was invited to the launch, although his attendance is yet to be confirmed. The event will feature both local and international entertainers, with Diamond Platnumz set to headline the celebrations. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
The Uganda High Commission in the UK, in partnership with the Eastern Africa Association, held a high-level Uganda Executive Roundtable at the Caledonian Club in London. The event, graced by the High Commissioner Nimisha Madvani, showcased the strengthening economic ties between Uganda and the UK, with a focus on investment opportunities. Uganda's Ministry of Finance Permanent Secretary Rhoda Ngonzi led discussions on Uganda's economic outlook, particularly in oil, renewable energy, agriculture, tourism and infrastructure. The Labour and Social Development in charge of Youth and Children Affairs, Bala Barugahara, has commended the proprietors of Noah's Ark Children and Youth Ministry for their unwavering commitment to the care of the needy and abandoned children in the country. During a visit to the centre located in Mukono, Balam expressed admiration for the care and support the institution provides, noting its positive impact on vulnerable children.
Tucked away on a 98-acre piece of land off Kayunga Road in Mukono is the Noah's Ark Children and Youth Ministry. Founded in 1990s by a Canadian couple, Peter and Peter, the center has for over 25 years offered refuge, care and hope to abandoned and needy children across the country. Beyond basic care, the ministry equips the children once they reach youthhood with vocational skills to prepare them for independent living.
I believe that God sent me to Uganda. That has been clear. Uganda hasn't always been easy, but I had not chosen an easy road. So it's God who sent me and my wife to come and do this work. So we preach with our hands and our feet. So we try to be practical people.
Minister Balam Barugahara praised the founders for their compassionate service and described their work as a beacon of hope.
These children, most of them are vulnerable. They are orphans, abandoned, left on the road, left on the street. However, kind people, led by Manish, who prefers to be called Manish Kataham 7, and his friend Peter, who's from Britain, from Holland, from the Netherlands, and other well-wishers, have made for them a home in Mukono, 4 kilometers away from Mukono on Kayunga Road, and a home they call a home. I'm impressed that the first lot, they have transformed them into sensible, responsible Ugandan citizens who have been taught a holistic approach on day-to-day, on how to survive out of this home.
He pledged the government's support and recommended that the founders be honored with medals for their outstanding service to the nation.
So the Day of African Child for this year, which is coming soon, we shall celebrate it here in Mukono, hosted by them. Our government will organize the function. I pray Mama Omzei could honor it. That is my prayer. But it's something that has interested me. I will make a brief to HE, the president, and inform him to make a special visit to this home so that we can award the medals to honor these people.
The children are often referred to the center by police or probation officers. Once at the facility, they receive food, shelter, education, health care, and emotional support. As they grow, they are trained in practical vocational skills to empower them, either for adoption or self-reliance in adulthood. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Mukono.
James Odewo of Jesus Center Church in Nairobi, Kenya, has urged East African leaders to intensify efforts of restoring peace in South Sudan, warning that the ongoing war has already claimed many lives.
A church leader from Kenya, Bishop James Odewo, is calling for a peaceful settlement among the warring faction in South Sudan.
Politicians have let us down. State or government is of God. It is a sacred institution, and I believe a head of state or a government official is called as much as a pastor is called and as much as a bishop is called. We are to help people, guide the nation, and lead people in the right way. But when the politicians begin to treat their offices or use their offices for their own selfish gains, then the judgment of God is waiting for them.
This was during Agape Outreach Ministries Destiny Empowerment Conference at Emerald Hotel in Kampala.
Whether you are a spiritual leader like me or a political leader like the politicians, we are servants of the people, and God has given us those offices. And we will give account to God one day how we served in those offices.
Speaking at the same meeting, Apostle Olobi Godwin from Liberia echoed the message, saying African leaders should focus on uniting their people to prevent internal conflicts that escalate into wars.
Because they have the authority for now. But you know, in life, nobody lives forever. Our life is for a period of time. And being in power at times could be for a period of time. Yes, it's possible people may have stayed in the place of power for long, but that does not mean they are above. The Bible makes us to understand that only God is the one that is for everlasting. Jesus said, I'm the same today, tomorrow, and forevermore. He said the same Jesus Christ of yesterday, today, and forevermore.
He added that leaders are chosen by God and should lead with humility, promoting politics that bring development to the grassroots. Bishop Patrick Musoke of Agape Outreach Ministries urged Ugandans to elect leaders who prioritize community transformation, saying such leaders will be remembered for their service beyond self.
We just want to encourage people to be peaceful. We know this government has been going on for the last 30 extra years, but we want people to be peaceful as we come into the elections, knowing that every leader comes from God. And as we have been in this NRM government going on, we believe it's God who holds the destiny of our nation.
Now the stage is set for an educational showdown as more than 100 schools from across Uganda converge at Serama Christian High School in Mukono District for the boot camp phase of the Stanbic National Schools Championship.
Starting students aged between 13 and 18 will engage in intensive training designed to sharpen their business acumen, innovation, and leadership skills. This phase of the championship supports recent educational reforms, providing learners with practical, hands-on experience to better prepare them for today's competitive job market.
We're here to win, first and foremost, but also to learn on an individual basis what exactly does the world need, what does our community need, and Uganda as a whole.
First expectation was to always be a winner. To first of all win to represent my region in the grand finale, and also secondly, I came to the boot camp to also develop my understanding much about business, because personally I like innovation and I have always had a dream of being a software engineer. So I wanted to understand how can I develop my software engineering talent or dream interconnected with business to solve a problem in the community.
It complements the new curriculum that the Ministry of Education launched about 5 years ago, in the sense that it allows them to simulate and practice what they are learning in the classroom. Here we take them through skilling on business, on entrepreneurship, on personal management, business modeling, but also psychosocial, because mental health is a key element of the well-being of a Ugandan more so of a Ugandan learner.
Have been called upon to embrace vegetable growing as a pathway to higher incomes and a more resilient future.
In a region long plagued by low yields, fake inputs and limited access to finances, a new initiative by East-West Seed Foundation is offering a renewed hope to smallholder farmers in Lango. Through targeted knowledge transfer, access to certified quality inputs, and a pilot program linking farmers to financial institutions, the initiative is addressing the root causes of underproduction.
And I also remember the markets. Most of the vegetables coming from different areas of Uganda, particularly from Mbale. So production was here, but most of the vegetables sold here wasn't produced locally. And where we stand now, it's really inspiring. I see the farmers are really moving forward. The production levels really go up due to better knowledge.
This initiative is building awareness and linking farmers to certified agro-input dealers for quality inputs.
So we want you to do something that you're good at.
A partnership with the Centenary Bank is closing the hurdle to access finances. Farmers can now get quick loans to invest in their farms.
By training them on vegetable production, training them on financial literacy, business planning, and make them bankable so that entities like Centenary Bank, for example, can be able to give loans to the farmers, but also the farmers would be able to use these loans efficiently and repay them.
All we are coming from where?
District leaders are urging farmers to take advantage of the program.
We are now able to produce for our markets. They can access essential services because access contributes to over 60% of their success.
With a national extension to farmer ratio of 1 to 1,800 farmers compared to the ideal 1 to 500 farmers, private sector support like this is helping to close the gap.
As East-West Seed Knowledge Transfer, what we decided to do is to say we cannot leave the work of extension to government alone. This is basically what we are doing in Uganda and in the other countries that we are working in. We believe that by doing the extension services, we improve the farming skills of our smallholder farmers.
For farmers like Flora Kulu, the change is visible. She says learning new vegetable farming techniques has turned her fortunes around. Jimmy from Agali now keeps records, buys quality seeds and supplies fellow farmers, making over 4 million shillings every quarter.
Digging the land in a way that when it rains, it does not cut away.
From seed to success, this vegetable-focused initiative is not just growing crops, it is growing livelihoods. Farmers in Lango may now be finally turning the page on years of struggle. Eddie Ulwa, UBC News.
We used to run, but most of the time we were running away from something. But nowadays, everything seems different. People still run, but they are running towards something. They run to test their limits, to break new records. And when we do it right, we inspire others.
The inaugural Coffee Marathon, uplifting rural coffee women, 24th May at Africa Coffee Park, Ntungamo.
Come, let us run.
To register, dial *217 *413 #. Choose option 4. Or scan the event QR code or visit the website to choose the race options. Brought to you by Inspire Africa Group.
Special announcement from the Baseline Education Census 2025. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and Sports, is conducting the Baseline Education Census 2025. This exercise will cover all learning institutions in the country for both government and private establishments, namely pre-primary, primary, secondary, vocational, and higher institutions of learning. The baseline education census exercise data collection is being conducted in a phased manner, starting with Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area, comprising of districts of Kampala, Mukono, and Wakiso. The rollout to all other regions will commence at the beginning of second term. The baseline education census collects information on learners, teachers, and school facilities to facilitate planning and policy decisions in the education sector. Uganda Bureau of Statistics appeals to the general public, heads of schools and institutions, as well as the local government authorities to cooperate with the BEC enumerators. In a special way, UBOS appeals to all parents of the learners to support the exercise by availing learners with their correct date of birth, national identification number, and learner's identification number. For more information, please call 0772 933 628 or 0743 787 189 from Dr. Chris Mukiza, Executive Director.
Hey, Okero. Hey, Kajambo. Mukasa. Where are you going with the family? Eh?
Oh no.
Hey.
We are on our way to the polling station. The Electoral Commission is displaying the National Voters Register. And I need to make sure my name is on it.
Oh.
And Sophie here wants to confirm her voter details. We are all warming up for elections.
What about these young men? I can see you.
These ones are no longer boys. They are now men. Last election, they were too young to vote. But now, they are ready to vote.
Mukasa, you have really inspired me. Now let me also go home and pick my wife so that we can check the details in the register. Okay. See you on the polling station.
The National Voters Register will be displayed at your polling station from 25th April to 15th May 2025. Please do not miss this chance to confirm your polling station and your voter details. Report the dead for removal from the register and those who appear more than once. Every vote matters. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Uganda.
Techno and MTN. Together, our flash snap is unstoppable. Grab the Techno Camon 40 series and get free 9 GB of MTN data valid for 3 months. Don't wait. Get your Techno Camon 40 today at Techno stores and MTN outlets. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
In business news, Uganda Revenue Authority has clarified that it halted groupage clearing at the entry in a bid to enhance transparency in trade facilitation. Let's take a look.
General John Musinguzi has announced the immediate suspension of group clearance once cargo arrives in Uganda.
Successful investigations, we indeed confirmed that some people were charging traders 3 times, 4 times the taxes they should be paying because they represent them as groupage leaders, and when they pay taxes, they charge them much higher. We have stopped that scam, we have stopped that corruption, and anybody we find who presents goods to us belonging to many traders as if they are their own goods, we have started prosecuting them and handling them in accordance with the law.
He explained that groupage leaders, often acting as intermediaries, have been implicated in fraudulent practices that disrupt the efficiency of cargo processing.
Come by leading those containers where there is groupage cargo, and when they get here, they extend their mandate to paying taxes on behalf of these traders in a groupage container, but also charging them exorbitant prices in a way to refund themselves the taxes they paid.
This was during the URA Traders Dialogue held under the theme Fostering Transparency in Trade Facilitation. By scrapping group clearance, URA aims to empower individual traders to take full control of their consignments, minimizing the risk of malpractice.
Some of them have unfortunately fallen out of business because of excessive charges by a group who have been calling themselves container leaders.
Traders at the forum welcomed the move, expressing relief that they can now clear their cargo independently.
It was very good for some of us traders who have been doing business minus knowing how the clearance is done.
We've been in position to get solutions on the right people to use.
Not just use goods only, all other imports, the taxes should be reduced so that we can make profit.
The URA Traders Dialogue served as a platform to address these concerns and reinforce trust between the tax authority and importers. Cayenne Faith Ntongo.
In sports, the 5th edition of the Silverfin Pentathlon is set to take place this weekend. Speaking at a press briefing at Hill Preparatory School in Naguru, organizers confirmed that the event will return to Kampala International School of Uganda for the first time since 2021.
100 and 200 meters in all 4 strokes.
We were encouraged, we were supposed to develop swimmers in several events, because at an early age, you can't tell where the swimmer will be when they turn around 20, 30. It's an event which encourages everyone to swim every event, try out every event.
Silverfin Academy's female captain, Kala Mugisha, expects tough competition from visiting clubs.
The competition, I'm expecting getters to come with their all dolphins and aquatic, because these are one of the strongest teams as compared to us, and they'll definitely make us run for our money.
The pentathlon, considered a key pre-nationals event on Uganda's swimming calendar, is being organized with high expectations.
But we're excited that for our particular competition, we have had a record number of registrations for participation. We have over 600 swimmers who have committed to participate in this pentathlon.
Swimmers are going to have fun in an 8-lane pool, which they have not had in a long time. So we thank Kisu for opening up the doors to allow the swimmers enjoy and have a quality swim in a quality pool.
MultiChoice Uganda has also come on board as a sponsor in a bid to support and nurture young swimming talent.
Silverfin Academy is very interesting for us, because it does show where we are looking in as far as supporting young talent, and as far as growing the industry as a whole, also providing a platform for more young people to shine.
Silverfin Academy hopes to mark its 10th anniversary with a memorable and well-organized competition this weekend. Marsha Miro Victor, UBC News.
Nine rounds of intense action, the 2025 Father Grimes National Schools Chess Championship has concluded at Our Lady of Africa School in Namiryango.
1,000 players from 226 schools took part in the 2025 Father Grimes National Schools Chess Championship, which was hosted in grand style at Our Lady of Africa School in Namiryango.
We are so excited. We appreciate the Federation for having chosen our school, Our Lady of Africa SS in Namiryango, to host 2025 chess national competitions.
Organizers praised the championship, played in the Swiss format, for revealing the technical prowess of Uganda's young chess talents, many of whom showed promise for the future.
Been a great improvement in the level of play, as evidenced by the number of new teams that have come on.
The tournament featured 4 main categories: secondary open, secondary girls, primary open, and primary girls. In the highly competitive secondary open category, which attracted 487 participants from 100 schools, St. Henry's College Shitovu Team A emerged champions, dethroning defending champions St. Mary's College Isubi, which settled for silver. Caltech Academy Makere B took bronze, led by standout players Osborne Tulinawe, Joseph Lotimong, and Darren Mulunji. St. Mary's College Shitovu impressed with 7 wins and 2 draws, remaining unbeaten throughout the event. In the secondary girls category, which featured 264 players from 55 schools, St. Andrew Kagwa Gombe Kawala defended its title. Wampeo Ntake came second, while Gayaza High School Team A claimed bronze.
Going into the university, players who are in senior 6, when they participate in this competition, they get certificates, and when they are missing just a few points to qualify for courses, they base on that those 4 points and they get into the university.
The tournament drew competition from traditional powerhouses such as Wanyangi Girls, which despite missing out on podium finishes, had commendable individual performances.
I've learned what strategy means. I have learned to think ahead and what decision making means.
There was also several debutant schools, notably St. Cyprian High School Chabakade, that partook of this championship and finished 38th in the secondary open category. In the primary open category, Sister Mariam Dagan Schools Team A and Team B finished first and second respectively, with Peak Primary School Peniel Kampala taking third place.
I also encourage those who have failed to continue, not to give up, not to lose hope.
It has helped me. It helps me go to other countries. I thank my parents and coaches and teachers who have supported me.
I thank my coaches for teaching me how to play this game, because it's also not an easy game to play. You need critical thinking.
Top performing teams from the championships are now preparing for the 2025 World Schools Team Championship set to take place in Washington, D.C., USA this August.
The winners as the people who are going to represent Uganda in the World Schools Team Chess Championship that is due in Washington, D.C., America, where Uganda is expected to field 6 teams, that is 3 in each category.
Meanwhile, in the primary girls section, which had 25 teams and 118 players, Holistic Junior School Mitoma emerged champions. Kids Pioneer Primary School Wakiso came second, and Peak Primary School Bethel Kampala secured bronze. Reporting for ABC TV, Helen Barbara and Vincent Wamundu.
And that does it for News Tonight. Thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.